This 20 TOP is the run that pushed me to 3,800. It was absolutely unhinged. Our Rogue and Ret literally left the key to swap specs. We tagged them up at the start and funneled it the entire way through. Pet battles to skip RP, shaman snapping mobs left and right, and I didn't even have hunt or pre-meta going into this first boss. Let's break down every second of this chaos. Right here, being a little bit behind, we want to make sure that we were using all of our CDs at the very beginning to live this Bloodhorn. And the whole takeaway here is the Rogue is going to get the second Bloodhorn right here. He cleansed it immediately, so nobody's going to die. And then we're always going to have to be stacking and dodging these. As long as the Bloodhorn dies before his third cast, we're very, very safe. If he gets a third cast off, a lot of people could die. It's going to overlap with either the Searing Death, and depending on what time you actually pull this boss, you can kind of get a little screwed over if maybe your tank does not pull that Bloodhorn very quickly, and you pull these guys a little bit late. You will get overlaps of the Decapitator Slam plus the Raging Bull, and wow, that is going to smoke you on almost any key level. It just can't happen. There's a reason why people are bringing a Dispel, a DN Rage to all of these TOPs. That first boss is no joke with that Bloodhorn going off. So you just need to make sure that you're not using too much space at the beginning of the actual pull itself. If you have people running around every which way, you're going to put all of the gunk on the ground in a spot where there's a frontal that goes out on players right here. And let's say that we've completely cornered ourselves off. It's going to be literally impossible if you're not maybe for me, it's really not that hard for me to get out, but you can easily corner yourself when you're just trying to run. So you need to make sure that when those actual circles are coming out right here, see, we didn't do it perfectly, but for the most part, we group up and we try to keep them very centralized. So these guys are at they're all under 40% basically. This room has well over 40% of the space left. We're not too worried about it at this point. We have definitely saved a lot of space. But if you have 5 people each and every single time and they're just kind of spanning out, it becomes kind of hectic. And that's where you could start dying or getting caught. Like if somebody was back there during that frontal and then all of this other front part was covered by gunk, where are you going to go? You're probably just going to end up dying or having to use one of your major CDs. So always have to be kind of cognizant of stacking on your tank. Try not to be using all of your space at the beginning. It can fill up real quick. It can get out of hand really fast. So one of the things about this key that was a little bit different is right here I was able to actually get a immune on my meta. So if you kind of blink with your meta, you can completely immune the damage that's going to come out or negate mechanics completely. So right there's a very high chance that one of those circles will go out on me on that Searing Death there, and you need to be spread out from everyone else. So I take away less space from the group and I'm able to support them. So right here, immediately we're going to go into our pet battle. Right here, this is what we got to talk about, the pet battle. The tank is pet battling the Ret, and then the Havoc is pet battling the Rogue here. So once you see the green line show up, we can then hit cancel, and as soon as it goes up, now we forfeit, and we fall down below way faster than everyone else. My role here is to grab this horror and have it follow us throughout the entire key. So right here, horror's following us, and we just continue. We want to make sure we focus the Arbalest down, and this is one of the very annoying pulls because this guy comes in and basically does a denial on the ground. So we want to make sure that we are either bursting down the Arbalest, or we should probably, like right here, this is pretty inefficient. We probably could have easily had our bodies back a little bit more, but we ended up getting lucky, and this Arbalest kind of just runs his way over to this side here. I wanted to confirm he was dead. I lost a Reaver's Glaive here, so that was kind of a little bit of a misplay, but overall, I think we had a pretty decent key for like keeping up glaives, using our I-beam during our CDs and all of that. So the other thing that we're going to be trying to optimize here in a little bit will be simply using our trinket more often throughout the key without getting any downsides from it. So if you're not going to have a lust pull or you're not going to have all of these different things lining up, you can do way more damage just by constantly putting out your House of Cards. So I was watching Shatterack's videos trying to figure out any of the differences between us, and I think one of the main differences would be that I like to line my stuff up a little bit more with the meta to get a better like prio damage, and then he does probably more overall and pushes a key a little bit faster because he's has more trinket usages than I do. So those are some things to look at. I've been playing back and forth with it, but sometimes it feels really bad when you go into a lust pull and you're like 15 seconds off your House of Cards, and then it wouldn't line up with lust or anything like that, and it sometimes feels really weird. So I have really good timers for my meta, and I do think it could be optimized as well. So right now, for the most part, you're going to see me be using the House of Cards with the meta, and I think it's a very, very helpful way to do it. We're going to be keeping this horror throughout the entire key, like the entire key. So we want to keep the tank in combat for Eye of Kazan, and these guys do not social either. So if you pull these horrors and then like these constructs that we have right here, they do not pull any of the mini bosses. They don't like social aggro, so you can kind of just bring it wherever you want for funnel, no issues. And basically you just don't want to kick meat shield because we want the shield to constantly be getting put out. If you stun it, do anything, we'll probably end up getting screwed by that because our damage is way more than enough to kill that, especially during CDs. So we actively try not to like put extra DPS into it. It's all about just funneling damage into the main targets, and you get a full extra target. We have a rogue and a DH, but for me, the funnel is just very, very, very helpful. Need it, love it. This is one of the coolest strats. I love doing this in theater. I really do. So right here, we just kind of bring this up to the next boss. There's not really too much that goes on here. We walk all of these up. They don't social aggro, and we got a little bit unlucky on Xav. So there's not too much to talk about in this point. So I'll kind of jump to our next area. Don't kill the banners really. You just kind of want to funnel off of them and just make sure you're always using one of your defensives during his big slam. Not this slam, but when he actually physically jumps in the middle of the room, that's one of his highest damaging abilities. So those ones can and will kill you. If you have nothing up, it's gonna one-shot most classes. Like if you're a DK or something, maybe it won't, but other than that, it's gonna be knocking a lot of stuff. So we immediately kill the rogue to try to get back up here. It's a little unfortunate. We could have had probably almost 30-40 seconds faster had I been the one that remained up top. So, oh well. I get a lot more funnel, and I kind of had to use a glaive down below to be able to get the rogue and I back up here. So those are things that are a little bit of a damage loss here and there. I'll see you at the next pull.
Turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. economy. You better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Loves the blood and gore, always wanting more. Freedom from the source, they don't really understand until they feel the force of part in. If you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me space, I'm protective. My adrenaline spikes when I'm threatened. And if you stay in my way, I'm aggressive. Cause when there's no exit, I'll kill when I'm desperate.
So we got over here and the pat was really bad, so we made the call to walk into this corner here, and then we immediately DR'd all of our stuns, and I didn't have my CDs, so I kind of got stuck in a corner, got leaped on, and then I had to come back here to kick this, and I was like, I have to kick it, I have to get out, but so ended up dying right here, which was very, very unfortunate. So we got back in, and I do still stand by, this is why this key is timed. We were able to recompose ourselves, call all of our kicks, and make sure that we do not die here. Like, this was a pretty good comeback because we had a couple things go off, and we were able to actually fix this from a very, very, very scuffed pull. I think from now on, we're going to wait until these guys come back and pat to us. We can begin the pull over here. We can get our kicks on CD, but bringing these mobs up to pull to them has felt pretty bad here. It was very, very difficult. Also, make sure that if you're playing a rogue or something, he kind of just forgot here. You can easily just distract that mob, and then we can all run. So it's pretty cool. Distract works, but they can still see you, obviously, in stealth. You just got to be aware of that. So if they have that big, you can see it on top of the gas bag there. He has a icon on top of his helmet. If he has a little eyeball, that means he can see you in stealth. So right here, we wait for the pat to come back with the gas bag again, and then we pull him into the fight. Try to make sure you're getting all of your kicks here. As soon as the gas bag is at like 20%, we start the next pull, which is you can actually pull the gas bag without the guys jumping down on you, which is very important because it becomes very difficult if any of them leap at the same time and you get like 2 leaps with the tick from the gas bag. Almost everyone will die from it. Just be very conscious of that. As soon as these leapers get killed and this gas bag gets down to about 20%, we spawn the next set of ads, and as soon as those ads are dead, we will be pulling every remaining mob onto the boss. Once we get onto the boss, everyone needs to stay moving. You can XY these mobs. So you see how they leap right here? This is how the boss is going to leap. They're going to leap, and if you jump, stun them, or do anything while they're leaping, you will cancel that leap damage. But if you're standing completely still, like right here, I had to jump away. I would have got one shot by all 4 of those jumped on me at the exact same time. That could have been really bad. That could have been the difference between this key being timed and not. So just be very aware of those. As soon as this triangle starts getting a little bit lower, we're just going to pull it onto boss and full send here. So I'm trying to get him as a baseline lower, get any of my souls up. That's one of my main thoughts going into these pulls. And I'm pretty sure that augment rune that I just clicked right there was one of the reasons we timed this key with 0.0 seconds left. So that was really cool. Coming to this fight, just make sure that you do not stand still when the little ads are out. That is how you will die on these fights. It is so difficult to actually stand still because they will kill you. If they both leap on you, you are dead. And I believe that at some point in this key, I got hit by the hooks because I don't think I could find my buttons directly. So this fight was a lot of fun. I always like this one's interactive to me. Like there's so many different things. We're pulling trash onto it. You have multiple mobs that are trying to stun you, and if you don't stun them, they are going to basically one-shot you. If both of these jump on you at the same time, they do about 55-60% of your health. So if they both hit at the same time, you will die with no CDs. Even my blur, if they hit me through blur, I'm almost dead. So recommendation for this fight is just do not stop moving. And right here, I got clipped when I jumped, and I nether walked that little guy's jump on me. So that was the only reason I lived. So either way, I shouldn't have gotten leaped on, or shouldn't have gotten hit by it. But that was a quick nether walk. It jumped on me, and those little things, those little saves like that are the differences between timing keys and not. So this one is pretty straightforward. From here, we have our funnel. We keep moving and just kind of blast the boss. That's all we're doing. So I'll see you at the next pull, and we'll talk a little bit about how we left the dungeon and what we're doing. So as you can see over here, we're going to land on this platform, and our shaman, you're going to notice, goes right on the corner here. He's going to drop his acid rain, and it's going to tag one of the mobs that are down at the very bottom. When the mob comes up, he will have a little bit of a time gate where you can't attack them. They're not really going to attack you. And these ones are shield mobs that cast a single target ability. So as soon as they come up, they're going to start casting on you. You're going to want to kick and stun them. This is a dangerous pull if you don't have a lot of coordination or a lot of damage right away, because you can't really waste a lot of damage on these mobs right here, because the next pull is extremely dangerous. And then the pull directly after that's your lust pull. So there's a lot of different kind of situational awarenesses that you have to be thinking about. You have to think, which one are you going to save your defensive for? Which one are you going to save your major CDs for? You generally have to use every single button on this Soul Harvester right here. It is no joke. He comes out to play and he will one-shot you if you do not use any CD. Like 2 ticks of this, just completely raw. If you're not a DK that's proccing, they're like cheat death, you're probably gonna die. So right here, you always want to nuke down that Guardian. You do not want him to get 2 attacks at all. That is a no-go. Our main focus is just do not let the Bone Magus or the Volley cast go off. So it's the Bone Magus Spear and then the Volley. Everything else is bad. It is bad, but it is nowhere near the detriment to the other ones. Those ones will kill the entire team or will absolutely 100% one-shot someone. The Necrotic Bolts hit very hard as well, so we one-phase this one. We're doing a lot of, like, that rogue did 14 million there. He annihilated that target too. So we were just absolutely blasting at this point. We're all just kind of looking at the timer and we're like, we have to lock in. This was our lust pull. And I think this is a great lust pull. Basically, I'm focusing on getting one of these big guys down while the team gets down triangle. Once triangle's dead, we'll pull over the next pack. So, but technically, if I'm rewatching this, I think that maybe I should have started on triangle as well, used one glaive there, then swapped off to one of these. Because I think we lost probably 5-6 seconds at least just sitting here hitting that soul binder with no CDs up. So I think right here, if I hadn't been on the big mob, we could have pulled the other ones a little bit sooner. So that's just something I'm thinking about for next key of how we could maybe improve this time a little bit. Obviously, we cut out all of our deaths in the key and we have plenty more time. But we're going to try to find other mistakes that we made that might not be just a death straight up. So there's a lot of different mistakes and a lot of different optimizations that can be done in keys. This next part is pretty self-explanatory. I will see you at the next pull where the Rogue and the Ret actually leave the key. So that will be right after the last boss, and when we're going to go up, I start the RP, they pour it out. So it's a pretty cool system. I truly think this was one of the coolest parts about this key. This was the reason why we were able to time it. As soon as this boss dies here, I go up, I spawn the RP. The Rogue and the Ret are on their way out of the dungeon right now to go change their specs. They're going to go change to assassination for the funnel of the 3 mobs for the Rogue, and then the Ret is going to change to strictly single target, and I'm already running the Eldrachi Reaver build, and I'm the one spawning the RP up here, so I get a great funnel profile on this already, and right now I am basically starting to stack my souls. I'm trying not to actually do too much damage to these mobs, because I'm just looking for the souls and bring them into the boss. We want as much funnel damage as absolutely humanly possible. I think one of the main things that I can learn from this video, I rewatched the last part of this, and I figured it out in the moment. There was only time for one meta, and during that time that would have timed the key, I ended up using a meta before the lust because I was going to try to get 2 metas in, and I ended up doing it at a time where I didn't necessarily notice that it was going to completely overlap and basically make me miss the meta with the lust. So that is something that I can optimize for the next one, and you can always think about it in the back of your mind. You don't want to let the timers dictate like your thought process or bring you down, but you do want to make them dictate what you're going to be using as a CD. So I, in this exact fight, incorrectly used my CD. I should have held the meta for the end of this fight. If I had held the meta for the end of the fight, I would have gotten a lust meta, and we would have killed the boss slightly faster. And when something comes down to 1 second like this, it is kind of a big deal. And so you want to make sure that you're always getting all of the damage that you possibly can in. And like right here, we had some of the extra mobs and people were so focused on their rotation, they didn't realize that that guy was still up over there. So all in all, the whole run, we had 3 deaths. It could have been a little bit cleaner. I should have known that those things were going to have a circle under them on my death over there with the puddle. But sometimes you just got to play the hand that you're dealt. And right here, I think we are doing the best that we can. We're starting to just lock in, have the best comms, and this is the type of key that I enjoy playing. This is why I push Mythic Plus. These are a lot of fun to me. I have a great time. I love trying to see where the limits of my character are. I like playing like a team comps like this that maybe not many people are ever going to play or maybe would even think are bad. We have a lot of fun playing with our group, and it's just been... I like Havoc. I'm going to keep playing Havoc, and I want to keep bringing you Havoc content. So if you liked it, if this helped, subscribe. I think likes help pretty much the most, and some interaction in the comments. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but I'll let you kind of just enjoy the end of this one. And yeah, you can kind of see how absolutely crazy it is.